How you guys doing? This is Dagnet. I want to talk a little bit about I've noticed a few comments in my comment section, even though it's off topic when they leave the comment in that video, but it's something that I think needs to be addressed. And I've seen a handful of these comments, not popular, but I've seen enough of it that I think I need to address it. And one of these comments, I will see a lot of, is it Black Americans or African Americans? I will see a lot of them leave a handful of comments addressing that you Africans haters hate us. You Africans are the one who sold us, and you Africans is it come across as if there's some kind of hate within the heart against Africans. Africans don't like us. Africans sold us, and you sold our ancestor, and all this kind of nonsense. We really need to stop this. Number one, yes, I'm from Africa. I was brought over to the US as a minor by my parents. I was in the sixth, seventh grade, whatever age that is, around that age, which is a preteen or at the age where you can be easily impressionable and your self-esteem is developing. So I came at that age with my parents, or they brought me over that age. So I went to school in New York. And I'll tell you, I experienced a lot of, you want to call it racism or hatred or discrimination or bullying. I experienced 90% or 98% of it from Black Americans. As young as I was at that age, a lot of insults. Of course, you all kinds of name up because when I came at that time, my accent was much heavier than it is today. Some people say it's too heavy. I don't know what to tell you right now. But of course, as a kid at that age, 6, 7, maybe 8th grade at that age, my accent was a lot more heavier, and it's a whole new environment, whole new culture. So of course I didn't initially just come and just assimilate into the culture. I had to study the culture at that young age. So I was very shy and timid, and I stayed to myself because of the insults and the ridicule and the mockery that I received from Black Americans going to school in New York as a young child or young minor. Isn't it? Now I'm an adult. 20 plus years. I've been in America about 25 years or so. If I went through that and I'm able to overcome that and just leave it to maybe people don't know us, they don't know our culture, and I just left it. I could have allowed that to scar me. I could have allowed that to hurt me to the point that I don't like and trust any Black Americans forever, because I was at a young age and I could have allowed that to affect me negatively, that I don't have any Black American friends today. But I didn't. So if you guys that insulted me then as a young child, and I decided as an adult, even from that young age, I decided to just let it go. That I have friends from all Black, white, don't matter. I have friends all over. So if I, as a child, went through that kind of traumatic event, I could have scarred me and damaged me for life, and I got over it. What is your problem, you Black Americans and Africans Americans, with this chip on your shoulder that all Africans are this, Africans hate us, Africans sold us, Africans this? What is this? Some of you are even saying that some of you never even experienced anything. But because you heard from her and heard from Pookie and somebody, and who knows. I experienced it firsthand in America. Even till today as an adult, I get more discrimination from as a child then until as an adult in America. I experienced more mockery and insults and discrimination and prejudice from my own Black American people in America. And yet I refuse for it to turn me against my own people. So what's your problem? That's number one. Number two, none of us were there during the days of slavery. So whatever story they have taught us, we don't sold it, that your brother sold you. I wasn't there, you weren't there, so we don't even know what truth is. And even if it's the truth, how many years ago have it been? Some of you have forgiven the white man, but you refuse to forgive your so-called brothers who sold you to the white man. I don't believe that story because I wasn't there. Number three, I'm just as much of a Black American as you are. If anything, I'm more of an American than you are. Why? Well, guess what? My grandmother parents, when they were teenagers, they were slaves in the Georgia plantation, and they were the few handful of Africans that went back to Africa. When your President James Monroe in America decided to ask the free slaves who wants to go back home and who wants to stay, my grandparents' parents, which are my great-grandparents, were amongst the few free slaves from the Georgia plantation in America, decided to take the boat, and they went back to Liberia. Then they had my grandmother. Then my grandmother had my mother. Then my mother had me. And then we came back. So almost like welcome back home. So I'm as much of an American or African American as you are. So please spare me all these sentiments and feelings and hurts and your sorrows. And there's that I can say they sold me too, right? Because my parents, my great grandparents are from we did research. We check in the archive in America. It's there. I can verify that if you want to. You see? So let's stop this self-hate and this chip on the shoulder and your sodas and our brother's soda. Ain't nobody stole my friend. I didn't sell you. My hello. I love my Black American brothers and sisters. But when they come, when some of them, not all, when some of them come to generalize and they want to throw stones and finger point, and you don't even know the person who you're trying to blame that they sold you, I'm one of you. Hello? I say I'm one of you now. My blood, my grandparents' parents, that's my great-grand. So I'm only 4 generations away from slavery like you are. You see? What's the difference? Because I was born in Africa. My great-grandparents from the plantation in Georgia, in America. So, but you're accusing me of selling you. But I'm one of you now. That's why you don't make blatant and ignorant statement when you don't know facts. It's best to ask some questions sometimes. Because the person who you're accusing of selling you was also a slave. Or the ancestor too. You see? So it's your ancestor 4 generations away from slavery. Some of you are the same 4 or 5 generations away from slavery, and you blaming me for something I didn't do. That's the story they sold us. I don't believe it. But you want to believe it and use it as a justifiable reason to hate all Africans, that one is on you. I have justifiable reason to hate Black Americans for how they treated me when I came to America, going to school, trying to assimilate the culture as a teenager, 8, 6, 7, 8th grade, and I was so ridiculed. I have justifiable reason to also just hate Black Americans and turn on all of them and just leave them alone. I choose not to. If I can choose, so can you. Love is a choice. So is hatred. I love you. Even till today, I love my Black American friends. Even some of them, even when I go to work, as soon as they hear your accent, they just don't like you. I still love you. I didn't do nothing to you. I still love you. You love me, I love you. You hate me, I still love you. You see? Because the person who made up that story, the only reason was to keep us fighting that hatred, to keep that self-hate alive. As long as we hate each other, we fight each other. It's called divide and conquer. Once they keep us divided and fighting, they can conquer us. You see the continent of Africa? You see the Black communities here? I don't want to go on. But all my Black American sisters, you have no justifiable reason to hate any Africans. I have reason and I choose not to. What's yours? What's yours? Thank you. This is your girl Dagnet, the African blogger. Yes, today is my birthday, so don't insult me at least. Listen to the comment. You can insult me tomorrow. No, don't insult me at all. Thank you very much. Why are you guys not subscribing to my YouTube channel? Don't you want to have longer videos? I know TikTok only allows, is it 3 minutes or 5 minutes videos? So YouTube, I have longer, nicer video. I want to start doing even live stream and stuff. How long is it? It's too long anyway. Let me stop.